Welcome to another edition of the Dream Season Football League, year number 2. On this edition of Dream Season Total Access, do the Pittsburgh Steelers have any sort of a chance against the red-hot 12-1 San Fran 49ers? Dallas had a wild win against the Giants in Week 15. Are they primed for a playoff run? And yet another edition of Jason Lundergren's Weekly Predictions. This is the Dream Season Total Access. Welcome to another edition of Dream Season Total Access. Week 14 is officially in the books, and boy did we have some thrilling games and some upsets to remember here in Week 14. Hello, I'm Nick Rice along with our entire broadcast crew. And let's not waste any time. Let's bring you all that there is to know about the Dream Season, starting with an epic matchup, a back-and-forth battle between the Dallas Cowboys hosting the New York Giants in an extremely thrilling game with plenty of playoff implications here. Midway through the fourth quarter, some miscues off New York's side as Eli throws a wobbly backwards pass and Chase Howley snags the fumble. Killer play for the Giants if it weren't for All-Pro linebacker Lawrence Taylor with a tremendous run stop that nearly went for a safety. Dallas punts it back to the Giants. First and goal from the 3. Eli looking for 6 and converts for the touchdown, but Laundry is on the field and the play is coming back, and New York just can't seem to get a break all season. After more time off the clock, Manningham beat the coverage deep and scores. Touchdown, Giants. No flags on the field this time, and New York has life in a game that they have to have in hopes of a late season playoff push. At 5-7 on the season, this game means everything to this ball club. Dallas recovers the onside kick but sends the punt unit after 3 plays onto the field. Third down and 8 now. Manning dump off, broken up by the defense, bringing up the biggest play so far this year for the New York and Dallas Cowboys. Eli backs up, cocks, and fires long, intended for Hakeem Nicks, and the pass is knocked away, incomplete, and the Cowboys hold off for the win at home with an ugly fourth quarter, giving up 14 unanswered points in the final 6 minutes. We knew coming in that the winner of this game will put fear in the minds of Philadelphia and Washington, forcing them to continue winning in the NFC East. As for the Giants, miscues and turnovers continue to plague this team and possibly cost the Giants a trip to the postseason. They still have an extremely slim chance, but odds are heavily against them now. Another key competitor for the final spot of the wildcard contention includes the 7-6 Rams, who trail the Saints due to a head-to-head loss in the NFC playoff picture. But watch out for the Rams, as since the Rams lost to the Saints, St. Louis has won 3 of its last 5. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints have only won once out of the previous 5 games. Outside of St. Louis, Dallas is part of a 3-way tie of 6 and 7 teams with hope for the postseason. This raises the question, can the Cowboys make the postseason? Now, before I answer this question, you need to remember that the Cowboys' remaining schedule a fairly easy one in the NFC East. Now, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 9-4 on the year. All they need is one win, just one win to capture the NFC South, so they don't really have very much to play for. And let's include the fact that starting quarterback Doug Williams will be out for the remaining 6 weeks of the season. He'll be back if Tampa Bay makes it to the conference game. Now, in Week 16, they're home against a very winnable opponent, the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia up and down all year long. Ever since the 3-0 start, they've only won 4 games. 4 games, lost 7. They really have a tough task here coming up the next few weeks. And then coming up in Week 17, now the Cowboys know they can beat the Giants. They allowed a late rally, but really the game was intact for a majority of the game. And then they go on to take on the 5-8 New York Giants. I think that's a very winnable game for the Cowboys. Giants are pretty much out of the playoffs at this point. So now I think Dallas will be able to win the NFC East, but it raises the question, who really does win that division? We have a 3-way tie, seemingly. Dallas 1 game behind, but the Washington Redskins lead it, and Philadelphia is behind only because of tiebreakers against the Redskins. Dallas, because of Emmitt Smith, let's include the fact that the running back has been in the top 5 in rushing yards so far this year, and that includes the greats of Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith. And let's also include top 5 in points per game allowed. The Cowboys do. Their defense is absolutely phenomenal, with All-Pro defensive end Bob Lilly, the Pro Bowler here for the DSFL2. And let's not exclude Deion Sanders, 3 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns. A tremendous year for Neon Deion out of Dallas. Both the Eagles and the Redskins, mind you not, rank in the bottom half in defense. And since the Cowboys are one of the upper echelon offenses, they should be able to match up very well against the Redskins in Week 16 and the Eagles Week 17.
The San Francisco 49ers and Pittsburgh Steelers match up in a Week 15 contest here, determining the greatest team entering the postseason. Who will win this crucial matchup and how? Coming up next on the Dream Season Total Access. The upcoming events for the DSFL2 include Week 15 through 17, all hoping to come this August here in 2012. In the postseason, hopefully the conference games and the Super Bowl, Dream Bowl 2, hopefully commentated by our very own Phil Nunziata, will all come this coming September. As you all are ready for the final action of the DSFL2, should be very exciting as we start to wind down here in the Dream Season.
Welcome back to Dream Season Total Access. The 49ers take on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. Both teams have already clinched their way into the playoffs with a 12-run record, but this will seemingly be the biggest test for both ball clubs until they enter the postseason, as this game seemingly now really tough to analyze. This game is a monumentally tough task for Charger Dude 95 to analyze, but I've nitpicked every single analysis I can about this game, and I've come up with my best prediction to who will win for Week 15, the Steelers or the San Fran 49ers. Let's look at the quarterback situation for both ball clubs. Now, Montana, you would expect to just be on another planet when you look at these stats, and it seems to be the case until you look at the touchdown to interception battle, along with Montana only having a 61 completion percentage to Bradshaw's 60%. Montana has been downward a little bit in that completion rate, along with the Steelers quarterback that does seem to hang on to the ball more. With 26 sacks taken, Montana only has 19 sacks allowed. That's second in the NFL behind only Johnny Unitas. Now, to change the dynamic of this game, the Steelers were known to be a ground and pound team, and they actually embody that mantra here in the DSFL2 with 2 running backs that are both well over 5 yards a carry. But the Steelers only run the ball 32% of the time, with the league average at around 40%. Pittsburgh seems to put a lot of trust in Bradshaw's arm, especially including the fact that the Steelers seem to always take the lead early on in games. Now, the crucial battle in this matchup will be won on the defensive side. We knew this coming into the DSFL season and coming into this Week 15 matchup, as the Niners rank 4th in the NFL and the Steelers rank 1st in that category of total defense. This game should certainly be won or lost on this side, as both the Steelers and Niners are plus on turnovers as well. The crucial stops and takeaways will prove to be the difference in this ball game. Pittsburgh winning in that category, but in addition, Lamar Woodley of the Pittsburgh side will be placed on IR with a herniated disc. He suffered that just this past weekend, and he'll miss the remaining 8 weeks. Might as well put him on injured reserve. So I see, out of all of these key factors in the game, I see the Niners winning it. 17-13 final score in this matchup here. I just don't see Pittsburgh with all the questions they have. Certainly on the defensive side, I don't see this team being able to take over the Niners to be the best team in the DSFL2. I see San Francisco going on to 13-1, But both of these teams, very impressive mark in the DSFL too. But I may include before I move on that the Niners are indeed way over the average on special teams return yardage, which is over 1,100. Steelers not even reaching 1,000 yards yet. And the special teams battle, the special teams may be a key to this game as well. Now, before we wrap up here in the DSFL Total Access, I have my own personal predictions here for the remainder of the DSFL 2 and into the postseason. And we also have Jason Lunegren's Week 15 predictions. So without further ado, thank you for watching. And Week 15, Steelers, Niners, Monday Night Football. Make sure to tune into that. So long, everybody, from the studio. I'm Nick Rice, and you guys have a good one.
Here are my predictions for the entire DSFL 2. Make sure just to pause it and take a long look. This is a lot of information to bring in, but I see the Packers 24-18 winning the Dream Bowl 2 over the Raiders.
Hi, this is Dave Long, and welcome to DSFL's 2 Week 15 predictions. We're gonna get going there, so here are the 4 games you'll be hearing from me. For the rivalry game between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins, they're still fighting for NFC East position. I'm going to go with the Giants over the Redskins because the Giants are at home and the Redskins' defense is sort of lacking. And for the 2 other playoff watches games, I'm going to go with the bigger one, which is the Cowboys over the Buccaneers. Because the Cowboys, are fighting for the NFC East Championship, which is their best bet to get to the playoffs. The Buccaneers, even though they're right now riding a sail for the NFC South, don't expect them to win the division that quickly, because the New Orleans Saints are the team to beat in that division. And for the second game, it's between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins for the AFC East Championship. For a playoff watch. I like to see Buffalo win because Buffalo has it all together while Miami's slipping apart. Sorry, Dan, I don't think your Dolphins are going to be in the Super Bowl this year. Well, that's just my opinion, but who knows? Maybe that might happen. And for the game of the week, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers against the San Francisco 49ers. The 70s versus the 80s. I'm going to go with the Niners or the Steelers because while the Steelers may have a very stingy defense, better than the 49ers are a better overall team. Because I think their offense might be enough for them to overcome the steel curtain. Bye.